property, like a brand new tree or a tree, a full-grown tree. Anybody ever had a dream about a tree? Stand up if that's you in the last little bit here.
So a tree that was planted?
A tree that was planted full-grown, and that's one of them. The trees that were planted recently, those are the two.
Okay.
Over there too, you have one too. So there's quite a few people, and there might be some people online. And what would these two different types of trees mean? I know you might have more details that would help, but what's the general theme here?
The general theme would be it's a time of planting and reaping. And also there's new growth growing alongside old growth. And so even though it's an older tree, it still has a root system that needs to embrace the land. And so it has to do with maturity, it has to do with wisdom, it has to do with oaks of righteousness, or people that have been in this for a while. And then the young trees are growing up alongside them, which gives me the charge that I wanted to say. Can I say that to you? Because, okay, so I feel like what's happening right now, and let's just go ahead with the shift of seasons, because we are now in a season of harvest, and we're in a time where we are being charged by God to go get the young people. Because they're dying, they're not connecting with church, it's not irrelevant to them. And so I have been saved 46 years, we have been married almost 40 years in August, we have been pastoring for 35 years, and I was born again in this city, I was born in this city, and then I was born again in this city at an Honored Crouch concert. And I'm telling you that we are in a season of harvest right now, and so I get the old stuff. I get the 70s, I get the Jesus movement, I get all that, but what I'm telling you is that we're being given an opportunity to connect with the younger generation. And God's giving us language, He's giving us information, He's giving us ways of reaching them. And so we just have to learn a new way. It's almost like when Jesus said, hey, put your nets out on the other side. When they said, well, we've been fishing all this time over here, and we know, we didn't catch anything. He goes, just put it out on the other side. It was like God has a new way for us to do this, another side of the boat, for us to bring in the big catch. And when we went to Burning Man, I've been to all these crazy places, and I've considered the field, and I'm telling you, we were doing organic spiritual alignment. And we were doing original root recovery. Who are you? True identity, identity awareness, spiritual cleansing and redefinement. That's deliverance. We did organic restart. Welcome to your new life. It's like people are saying, I want the language, I want to be able to connect, I need the bread of life, I just can't eat it in the wrapper it's been coming in. And so we are now learning how to impart, how to give. We did porta potty prophetic. That means we literally stood and rolled out a red carpet. There's a whole line of porta potties at Burning Man. We just picked one. And we rolled out a red carpet with a chair and an umbrella. When they came out, we're like, you're the winner. They sat down in the chair and we prophesied to them. They got saved, spirit-filled, death goes back. They're delivered.
Only Cindy can have the boldness to do exactly what she just said. But we need ideas like this.
Right? And so, it's a download. I go to the porn convention, and I'm like, what am I supposed to do? And God said, a roulette wheel. I went, what? So I bought one, a party wheel, with words of affirmation. And so they spin the wheel, they land on a color, and we have wristbands that match. Success and succeed, goals and determination, that kind of thing. Coolio comes to our tent, or to our booth, right? Spins the wheel. We're like, give him a word. We put the wristband on him, and he starts shaking under the power of God. I'm loving this. I'm talking about gangster's paradise.
Okay, there's a couple people that are sit down just real fast. We're going to keep going in this note. Just stay with me. You're with me. And Cindy has so many amazing stories about how there's no limitations on God when you go places. When she said we went to the porn convention, they literally set up a booth at the porn convention and ministered to people who came forward and who just lined up to just get ministry. And they just prayed for them, they prophesied to them, and some radical things happened. And one of the things I remember when she first told me she was going to the porn convention and asked what I thought about it, I said, I don't know yet. I don't know if that's Christian legal, And it was always moms and dads. Like Ray Hughes went, like all of you guys the first time, it was like, oh, and I'm like, they don't struggle with porn, so it's not a big deal. They're going to go love on people who would never come to church. And it was so phenomenal, the fruit of what happened. They've gone now, what, 5 times, 7 times?
Oh, we're up to 10.
10.
And we actually got in trouble because our booth was so popular because they were getting words of affirmation. They were getting encouragement. There was no judgment, no shame. We didn't label them. We just took them as they were. We looked on their heart like God does. We learned how to love large. And our booth was so popular that we were clogging up the thing. But we went in as investors because we couldn't think of anything to go into. You know, what do you do? Well, we're
you only set up a booth if you have a purpose to set up a booth.
Yeah,
right?
you have to.
They don't normally have
something.
Christians set up booths, obviously.
So we were investors in porn. It's just weird. But I mean, I'm coming from a pastoring background. I'm coming from a Jesus movement conversion where I was never into this stuff. I mean, I walked in and I told them it's like baptizing a cat. I was like, you know, but God had other reasons. And what I'm saying to you, the charge I have for you is that the church is never meant to stay in the church. We're never meant to stay in the church.
So here's what I want to do. I had her share this because I want those of you who know that you're called to go to something that has never been popularized by Christians before or has never been considered by Christians. You're like, the genre, maybe it's a business you're starting or maybe it's something you're doing that just feels a little Frenchy. You're like, I know this is God, but I need courage. Stand up. Now, we're not giving you license to sin. We're not giving you license to do anything creepy.
You must be trained.
And there's training to go as far as evangelism and these kinds of places. But as far as some of you are called to do something that a lot of people haven't done, or you've never heard of anybody who's done this, and I want Cindy to pray for you and bring an impartation of courage and faith and righteousness and holiness.
Right.
And these things.
I just want to give you permission to obey God. I want to give you permission to partner with heaven to see God's kingdom come and His will done on this earth just like it is in heaven. We are connected to the Creator. We should be the most creative people on the planet. So I release creativity over you and the ability to hear from God, to be able to understand, to get before Him and get downloads from heaven on how He wants you to execute the very assignment that you've been given. So I just release you into that. I bless you with the ability to hear, to take off the old mindset, to take off the old wineskin, to take off everything that has been hindering you from doing something different and unique. And that is out of the box, that doesn't have any grit, we don't know where to stop, neither does the love of God, by the way. And so we are going to see a whole generation raised up of young people with a new sound, with their ideas, with their creative abilities, and I just release you to do what is in your heart to do. And by the way, you're not too old to do it. Just so you know. I mean, I'm going to be 67. And I'm like, I've got young people all around me. They're like swarming us. They don't leave us alone. We can't get away from them. I feel like your wife in the bathroom. She couldn't get away from them. They're banging on the door, wanting in. So dreams will get you there too. Dream interpretation. God told me to run with the dream thing. I didn't know what that meant. I started at 2002 Winter Olympics. Charisma did an article on us about the dream team. And I got a call from a pastor in Washington that said, well, this is weird and I don't believe in this. And without thinking, I said, well, I'm not reaching you. You're saved. So dream interpretation, you can't go anywhere that it's not present. People are dreaming dreams. You'll hear it on buses, on airplanes, on public places, in restaurants, in grocery stores. People are dreaming like crazy. Be available to God. People say, well, that's New Age. No, it's Genesis. Yep. And so we need to begin to take back what the enemy has stolen and interpret their dreams for them and give them an answer from God. Otherwise, we're training them to go to psychics, which we're not going to do. So anyway, I want to release you to do that.
I'm going to do two more things with you. Stand up here. Go ahead and sit down. If you had a dream in the last couple weeks that you were supposed to have a large amount of money to spend on something like a new car or house or something, and your bank account was empty, or you didn't have the resources that you thought you had. Stand up, if that makes sense to you.
Does it have to be a dream?
Someone asked if it has to be a dream. Yes, we're talking about dream language. And if you're online, listen to this as well. So there's quite a few people who had this. There's some over there. There's over here.
Okay.
So what does this mean?
Oh, this means it's coming. And I can say that from personal experience. I've had 4 dreams. One where you were in it. Yeah. Sean's going to finance it now.
I need the same thing then. Yes.
But anyway, about repetitive dreams, anytime you've had a dream more than one time, It's because God is establishing something. And so you are positioned, you are actually in line for, you need to just allow yourself to be positioned for a download of resources, of money coming. And it is going to be for the kingdom of God. Let me tell you this just from a history perspective. I've known people in my early years of Christianity who were given great wealth. And God said to them, this is for the kingdom. That they got selfish and they got very clingy to it, and it began to wither up. Because the more that they gave out, the more they got. The more they gave out, the more they got. And so that's what that means. If you've had dreams about wealth, it's your position, it's coming. And actually partner with God in agreement for this to happen. We need resources in order to do the work of the kingdom. We cannot do it without the money. So it's...
Well, I was thinking maybe because it was attached to bank accounts, it could be that you can't get it in your own strength.
Yeah, you
it
can't get it. Yeah, it will be supernatural. Yeah. And all of a sudden things will appear. And we've seen this happen actually with people, that they were given the ability to make wealth, but also they were just given wealth because of the calling and the assignment that they're in and on. So, yeah.
Okay, go ahead and sit down. One more group, which is people who had a dream that you had a huge social media presence or YouTube channel or something in the last couple of weeks, and you don't know why. You just had a dream about all of a sudden you're like you're Insta famous or you're YouTube famous, and stand up if that's you. If you just had a dream for some reason, social media took off in your life.
Insta famous, I like that.
So there's quite a few people who had this dream. What would this mean that they're all of a sudden social media famous? What does that mean?
It probably means that there's a spotlight on you and you're designed and you're appointed by God to gather many. And you have a message for many. And so if you open your mouth, you'll also find that some of those dreams, when you have those kinds of dreams, you'll begin to have a dream too that you can't speak when you're dreaming. Have you had that where you feel like you can't say Jesus or you can't get the words out? It's because you have a voice and something's trying to compromise or suffocate your voice. So you want to know that it's just telling you, flip it around, you have a voice. And you have something to say to a great multitude of people, and that God's going to give you language, He's going to give you the words, He's going to give you the favor, He's going to draw people to your Insta famous place, and give you the ability to speak life into them, and give them something that they can hold on to, hope for, cling to, understand, and it's not, it'll be something, as you steward it, God will give you more. It's always that way. Whatever you've been given, if you steward it, God will give you more, and He'll grow you in it. And so, don't be surprised if you have dreams, other dreams about not being able to talk, or you can't scream out loud. Yeah.
Oh, I had one more too.
Yeah.
So, okay, go ahead and sit down. Thank you guys so much. And thank you on social media, or on social media, on people who are streaming in. The last one that I have that I thought of for this time was you were in a dream, and in the dream you were a character in a movie or a video game, but you weren't an actor. You were actually in the movie or you're in the video game. And we weren't going to ask you what video game or what movie, but what is it when you're a character in a movie or a video game in your dream? Go ahead and stand up if that was you. If you've been a character, all of a sudden you're in your movie, you're in your favorite movie or whatever, or you're in your favorite video game, what does that mean?
Okay, so you want to probably look at the movie or watch the movie again and see what characteristics identify with you, with things that you can identify in, because there's something about the character, there's something about that person, or even at the actor itself, but pretty much just the character of what they were encountering, what they were going through in that movie that is going to be present in your life. And you'll probably, it's kind of funny because God does speak through movies. I don't know if you know that. He does, and also songs, and yeah, so, and also kids. 5-year-olds. Anyway, yeah, this will be something that you want to pay attention to. You want to rewatch the movie. You want to see what they're going through, and possibly there'll be some wisdom with you or in you about how to navigate it, what to do, how to do it. You have to say, why was it this movie and not another one? Why am I that character and not someone else? You have to do the contrasting bit so that you know, this is why I had this dream, this is why I'm the character in this movie, this is why it's this movie. So when you get all that and you do all your homework, then you'll get the revelation on why you were given that dream about that character in that movie.
Thank you guys so much for participating. Thank you. Go ahead.